Let me do this full stop, that'd be great. He is on the absolute limit of traction, and they do this every corner, all around, every lap for the whole race. And he with the best car wins, usually, because they're all really good drivers. You guys know how much these guys get paid to do this? Tens of millions of dollars. So it's on the absolute limit of traction going around a corner. Of radius 130 meters. What speed is it going if coefficient of friction is 0.85? So we know there has to be friction. If there's no friction, the tires spin, it sits there. But we've done this before, but it was all 1D. It was linear. You know, for the car to go that way, there must be friction going that way between the tire and the pavement, okay? But we don't really care about that anymore. We care about centripetal action stuff going on. So, Formula 1. That's a nice one right there. Haha. Wish you could do that, don't you? Actually, it's a little bit low. So this thing is going around some corner, okay? So don't think about like forward and back. All we want to think about is this corner action, okay? So right there as it sits for a free body diagram, what do we got? It's sitting on a road, okay? It's turning, I'm saying the center is here, so which way is it turning, left or right? Left. It's always with respect to the driver, right? He's taking a left-hander. He's coming around like this. We know we have weight. And is this thing moving up or down? We're assuming not. It does have wings, but they don't usually fly. So there is a normal force. It's sitting on a surface, right? So this thing is turning left. So if I fudge the wheels a bit here to make it look like it's turning left. Okay, good luck drawing your car. It looks like that one. By the way, what kind of car is that? Maranello red. Yeah, Ferrari. You bet. Couldn't buy that thing even if you wanted to. Okay, so this thing is going around in a circle. Let's call that the center. What permits this thing to turn around in this circle? Friction, right? That's the only thing keeping this thing in this circular motion. And we're not going in a full circle. It's just one section of a corner. But the radius here is 130 meters, right? Okay, from the center of mass of the car to the center of the circle. So this thing, is it accelerating? Okay. And where does the acceleration go? Towards the center. What do we call this acceleration? Centripetal, towards the center. Okay? And obviously there's a force here. It's in the same direction as the acceleration. So we have a centripetal force towards the center. So don't think about the driver. It feels like an outward force. We know that. But you remember when we introduced Newton's third law, and I said to you, if you're driving in a car and someone cranks the wheel and you're in the passenger seat, do you hit the door or does the door hit you? The door hits you. You want to keep going straight, okay? So it does feel like an outward force. But there is no centrifugal force. It's fictitious. Okay? It isn't really there. It's the door hitting you. Okay? It's not you hitting the door. There's no force causing this guy to go out this way to the left. Okay? What's causing this thing to keep going in a circle is centripetal force caused by the friction of the tires. So it feels like, if you know you're the driver, it feels like you're going outward, but that's not the case. Okay? Because if there was no friction, you would not have an outward force. It would continue to go in the same direction it was already going. So, what causes this thing? It is force. Okay? It is friction. So the friction force not only causes the centripetal force, it is the centripetal force. That's the only thing that's going on here. Okay? That's the key concept. Doesn't just cause it, it is it. That's it. That's the only thing in this direction. Okay? Makes sense, great. If not, well, got to live with it. So what is the force of friction? It's mu Fn. And centripetal force, again, is m/ac, but ac is v squared over r. Okay? So you have this formula on your formula sheet. You have this formula on your formula sheet, but nothing there says that this equals this for this problem. So don't think, well, what's the formula? We're all looking for the master formula. It's the concept. Okay? It's not the formula. It's the concept. All right? So what's Fn? Well, I know that's mg. Okay? Because this thing isn't moving here. This is balanced force-wise. So mu mg. Why am I writing like that? Let me spin that thing around. M v squared over r. Okay, I'm asking for the speed. That's the only unknown I should have. Do I have mu? Yep. Do I have a mass? Yep. But what did someone just say? Yeah, is there an m on both sides? You bet. So let's times both sides by r as well. So v squared is r mu g. I know it looks like rug, but it's not really a u, it's a mu, right? And v is the square root of r times mu times g, because these guys only race on Earth at the moment. On. Square root of 130 times 0.85 times 9.8. By the way, I did investigate what the coefficient of friction is for a Formula 1 tire. And they want them nice and hot, right? The rubber sticks better to the asphalt when they're nice and hot. So even when they get new tires from the pits, they have what's called tire warmers. They have blankets that are heated up to, I don't know, 80, 90, 100 degrees to keep them hot. But that still doesn't, it's not as hot as when they're actually on the racetrack. I saw numbers up there of a 1.6, 1.7. Okay? Yeah. Well, apparently not. These cars can actually drive on the ceiling at speeds above 100 kilometers an hour. Because of these wings, it actually puts force on this thing greater than the weight of the car itself. So when they can do 100 kilometers an hour, they can actually drive. If you go through a tunnel that's round, you can actually drive on the ceiling. Okay? Because the force of air resistance on this car is bigger than the weight of the car itself. So, yeah, because of that, your friction is huge. Anyway, what was the answer? 32.9. And what's the units for velocity? Meters a second, because everything's in meters and seconds and things. Okay? So, convert that to kilometers an hour if you want, something that makes more sense to you, but that's about 120 kilometers an hour. Okay? Over a radius of 130. Well, according to this, no. That might be the coefficient when it's raining, though. These guys are real men. They're not like NASCAR boys. They actually do race in the rain.